to Spo or anything like that, but I can see them in their coaches meetings saying Murray's the head of the snake. Not Jokic. If you just look at it, you go, well, Jokic is the head of the snake. But when you play a team, you sort of realize, wait a second, like that guy's he's gonna dominate no matter what we do. So this is the head of the snake, and I think they just decided Murray's the guy we got to stop. So you start Love, you put Jimmy Butler on Murray.
All right, so that's what Steve Kerr says. What do you think, Perk, of what you heard from Steve Kerr?
Why you got an attitude at Kerr now?
I don't have an attitude. I don't have an attitude with Kerr. McNutt. This is what's happening is that Steve Kerr and I never spoke a day in my life, but it seemed like we watched the game out the same lens. He is saying the same exact thing that I've been saying all show. It was the adjustments that Eric Spoelstra made, putting Kevin Love in that starting lineup. I actually thought he should have went to it in game one. And look, this is what happened. The Heat came off a 7-game series. They didn't have time to really watch film and see how to guard the Denver Nuggets. I'm not making an excuse for them, but what they did was they got to the film room and they started taking away a lot of things. And then Eric Spoelstra said, you know what? Let me go back to my big lineup that I started in the Milwaukee series, that I started in the Knicks series. Let me get K Love back on the floor, a guy that's one of the elite charge takers, championship experience. Let me challenge Jimmy Butler and put him on Jamal Murray because I know he's a pit bull. And you saw the results last night.
What do you think, Monica?
I agree.
Yeah.
I just want Perk to know that I agree that the Heat defense is the story of this ballgame. But I will say, moving forward, the nature of a series is adjustments, right? And just when I look at these two performances that we have so far, there is room for the Nuggets to make a ton of adjustments, both offensively and defensively in my mind. That's not to say that Spo won't come up with the response, because we know Spo is one of the greatest in the game, but I just think the Heat played so well. Now, if they maintain this level of defense and they can neutralize Murray, then they are definitely preparing to hold that Larry-O at the end of this whole thing. But just from that game, in terms of the effort that we've heard tons of sound from different folks out of the Nuggets organization and locker room talk about, the effort and the want to. If your bread and butter is back cutting because you have Optimus Dime, you can't cut one time and that's the end of it. There's got to be more action. There's got to be more pressure on this Heat defense. Now, if the Heat remain not connected, then you got some problems.
So they begin the fourth quarter, I think, down 8 or 10, Perk. That comeback that the Heat made, you think that was the spark they needed to say, we're going to win this series?
Well, it started in the third quarter. I thought the Heat never let this game get out of control. Again, the trust factor. When they went down by 12 points after being up double figures, the Heat just keep chipping away. And that's all you want to do. When you're in those timeouts and you're down by double figures or you starting the fourth, all the people are saying is, hey, let's get off to a nice old run. Let's cut it to 4. Let's cut it to 2. Now we're in the game. And I thought Eric Spoelstra also did a great job of starting that fourth quarter with Bam on the floor and going away from Cody Zeller. That was huge. Bam was the initiator on the offensive end, and that's how they was able to run their misdirection plays offensively.
Yeah, compared to game one, he was certainly a lot more aggressive towards Nikola Jokic as well. We're going to talk a lot more about this game. Jay Will's going to join us as well. But
Jay has
never played. Because either one team is down 0-2 and overwhelmingly likely to lose, or it's knotted up and it's like a 50-50 proposition. So that was a huge win last night for Miami on the road. Is it now time to be concerned about the Nuggets? What if Miami defends home court? I mean, a long way to go, and the Nuggets could win easily either or both games. But you would favor usually the home team in a situation like this, and it's possible they could wind up back in Denver down 3 games
down
to 1.
1-3? Were you about to say down 1-3?
Well, you're down 0-2, you're down 0-1. Why aren't you down 1-2? You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. Is it time to be concerned about the Nuggets, Jay?
I mean, look, it's one game. You split. The thing, though, is that they haven't lost a game at home in this postseason. It's a really big thing. So you kick off the series winning the first game, which Miami has won every home opener in the playoff series this year, right, on the road, and then you let your guard down defensively. And Miami is one of these teams that they never go away. And Denver is a young, immature team. We just had a caller, Prince, calling from Colorado, giving us the age of all the players. Talking about Michael Porter Jr., 24. You talk about players in New York, it's 27. Jamal Murray, 25. You have a very young team that have bad habits at time. And Miami's a team that if those habits don't get tightened up, those screws don't get screwed in tight, they will find a way to win this series. They always have.
And what will that do to you, Jay? Find a way to win this.
I'm going to be fine regardless. Key, how would you say it? I'm going to be good regardless. I'm good.
Yes, sir.
Michael in
yes,
Alabama, or is it Mike? Is it Mike or Michael in Alabama?
Hey, I'm fine with. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
First time calling, but I don't mind being called Mike. As long as you ain't called me my full name, Mike McClain. But I don't mind being called Mike.
Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. Some people don't care. Some people do. I know a Michael who really does not want you to call him Mike, but go ahead, Mike, in Alabama.
Yeah, I really don't care. I agree with you, Max. Game 2, Jimmy Butler really hasn't had that outstanding game, but he has been getting his team involved. So I would say I think they're going to steal Game 3 because I really think when they get back home, Jimmy Butler's going to bring out that dog and act a donkey.
That's multiple animals.
He's going to act a donkey. And I also want to, retract about what Keyshawn said about a week or two ago about the barbecue and cookout. I just left a thing we had back in my hometown called Class Day Out from classes from all the way back from 73 to 2023. And it wasn't no big cookout. It was a big barbecue. We do barbecues in Alabama.
All right. All right, so it's regional. That's okay. Akbar in Brooklyn. You're on KJM.
Good morning.
Morning.
First of all, I wanted to thank Keyshawn Johnson. Give me the ball, Keyshawn Johnson, who sincerely wanted to bring a championship to New York City. And even though he got his championship in Tampa Bay, his passion. I remember the day when Testaverde hurt himself. He cried because he saw that it was a chance that New York can do something. I want to bring up the Joker, and I've heard several announcers statistically compare him to Will Chamberlain, rightfully so. Points, assists, and doing certain things that Chamberlain used to do. But I also want a lot of us get stuck on the contemporary, what's happening now. And I think if people would take a look, Chamberlain with Philadelphia, and he had some great teams in Philadelphia, along with the Lakers. Bill Russell had a team that beat him, even though that he was dominant. And I think